The reason why I say the Morphling is because it's into the Omni Knight matchup. It's incredibly strong, and I don't think an Omni Knight Moran is going to provide any kill threat onto the Morphling, especially with a Shadow Demon 5. So if RNG do go for that hero though, then they're now at threat of being Outward Devoured, which already I thought looked really good into the DK Abaddon, potentially, but you see Vici going to go for their own little bit of hard dispel as well. Some sustain. Oh. Well, it is really good versus the Omni Knight. It is really, really good versus the Omni Knight. I will add that. Gives you some team fight. Gives you a win condition now as well, which is what RNG were kind of looking for. The DK I don't think is enough of a win condition. Like it's not really like the Death Prophet in that regard. I like it from RNG, honestly. I didn't really think about them actually going for the OD, but like I said, really good against the Omni. The Ogre's super tanky as well, and they don't have, they've got decent lockdown, but like I said, I mean, the Abaddon Shadow Demon provides you a lot of protection, and OD is going to do a lot of damage this game. They do, however, show 2 of their cores and potentially 3. I mean, an Abaddon Shadow Demon support duo I don't think is very good. They need a playmaking hero for RNG in this last pick. I imagine it's going to be the September hero, the 4. Like someone like an Earth Spirit or something to be able to roam across the map and make a lot of plays. But regardless, Vici, what are they going to go for themselves? They're going to Husk. Okay. An incredible lane matchup versus the OD. You do, I mean, DK can probably go Silver's Edge, but you don't really have a Spirit Vessel carrier to deal with the Huskar right now, and that's also protected by the Omni Knight. But that's such a, I feel like I don't know if RNG got baited into picking the OD here. Like I really think if RNG Morphling then Vici go OD, but because Vici have the Omni Knight, it enables the Huskar. And because you Omni in that 3rd pick, well I should say 6th pick, it leaves RNG thinking about going for the OD to counter to the Omni Knight. And then now Vici have this 8th pick that absolutely destroys the OD in the laning stage. And OD is supposed to be a win condition, and you don't have heroes to make space around that. I'm really worried for RNG in this draft. I think this last pick has to give them a lot, and that's not a good thing. Like Huskar's a hero that doesn't get roamed on mid, and I brought up the Earth Spirit. It's nice with what they're looking for here. They think it's going to be Abaddon Shadow Demon support duo. Okay. But it looks like the Centaur is just to protect the Drow. Like they already have. How do they get on top of the Drow unless it's a DK? This is a beautiful draft from Vici. This is such a nice draft from them. Like the Mars Centaurs banned out in the 3.
10 seconds.
This last pick has to give them a way to get on top of the Drow Ranger, I feel like. Because now Husker is just going to be that front line. You've got the Omni Ogre to protect as well with the Drow. Your Omni's more with the Husker, but like if they do eventually get on top of the Drow, which I don't think they will, maybe I don't like it, but you might be able to force the DK on a 3 and then go for like a Void or something.
Lena, choose your hero.
So they will. Okay, so they do put the DK on a 3, but it's going to be Lena mid. They'll skip the OD into the Huskar matchup, which I think Vici are going to follow the OD wherever they go. And they're also putting the OD versus the Omni Knight, which is nice in the lane. I think this... I'm not a huge fan of Lena at the moment, and it gives you some nice bursts to bring down the Huskar, but like they are like full magic damage right now from RNG. I mean, OD, yes, you have the Pure and the Orb, but I'm a little worried that DK's not going to output a whole lot of damage this game. I really like the Vici Gaming lineup. I don't see how they get on top of the Drow. This is also a Drow Ranger with an Ogre Magi. Like, their lanes right now from Vici are really, really strong. Huskar's a lane dominating hero. You have the Drow Ranger with the Ogre Magi. Like, Ogre's such a strong laning support hero. And they've got actually some decent kill threat. Who's the 4? It's the Shadow Demon. So with Bloodlust on Drow, I feel like they can get a couple of kills in this lane, especially with the Mirana if she does rotate. I like the lanes on how Vici are going to be able to play this. And again, I mean, you can also, Ori can just follow the OD. Like, if they don't want to put... yeah, if they don't want the Omni going versus the Outward Devour, and you still, even though it's not going to be that mid matchup, the OD versus the Husker, you can still just follow him to one of the side lanes here. I mean, I really like the draft from Vici.
Prepare for battle.
So Ori's still going to go mid, so we'll lane up against Setsu. Not really, it's fine. It's not really going to do a whole lot. Are they going to aggro though? That's the question. Are they going to aggro this bottom side? But I mean, at the moment, here we go. Game 1. Vici up against RNG, continuing on with the China Pro League. There's going to be some interesting stuff here. So, Monet's going to go top. I mean, I think Monet has to be a beast this game on the OD. They do at least... So the thing about the Lina, I think the Lina is going to be played as more of a... I think Setsu has to get aggressive early. Like, and maybe Flywing goes like Spirit Vessel. I just don't see how they kill the Husker though. Like, unless Lina is super fat and somehow destroys this middle lane. Oh, I already did connect, but it's not gonna matter. A little bit of damage. Super's actually got 4 HP regen as well on this Abaddon, but... Oh, get me that CS. Damn, should have multi-shotted for it. But yeah, they're gonna do fine here. You already see PYW starting. Now, the Omni Knight is a pretty weak laning hero. Until you kind of get 2 points up in the Purification, you do feel at threat of being kind of harassed, and it's very difficult to be able to man-fight, but the Shadow Demon. Unfortunately, the Fire Blast still just, the stun's not too long. The only issue with going Fire Blast level 1 now is that he's got the Orb of Venom without the Blood Blast, and that feels really bad now, because the Mirana's going to leave bot. So DY just has this useless kind of ability for the lane that he can't spam out because he doesn't have any mana. So I'm kind of surprised I actually went for first blood there. I wonder how much it's going to affect the kind of the first couple of waves here, as you see. Now, this is what good Drow Rangers do. They kind of force out a lot of harass throughout the lane. You see, they're actually pressuring. They actually might find a kill instead of harass here. Flywin does drop. Well done from Eurus. They're just going to continue putting pressure on here. A lot of time, I mean, you see, he's not hit a creep until that second CS there. But this is the thing. The Drow Ranger in the early levels is very weak. And the enemy team is able to kind of utilize this and just constantly harass. And you see, instead, Drow just getting aggressive. This is the beautiful thing about the Drow, is when we saw kind of the Drow ET combo a lot, is that you want to put a beefy hero in front of the Drow. And Ogre's the perfect target at that. He's 7 base armor. You're able to just eat up all the damage, and it allows Eurus to kind of just siege on the back. It's also nice with the slow as well. They've got the Orb slow, they've got the Frost Arrow slow, so this is really nice there if they're able to give him a good start. But now the one matchup that the Lena's pretty good against the Husker. You have this long attack range, so you are able to play from a distance. You can CS relatively decent as well with the Dragon Sleeve once you get like a couple extra points in them. So until then, Husker is going to slightly struggle at being able to zone out Setsu, but I think Ori's fine. You see, he's just going to go for double bracer, just the magic resistance early on, a very important way to kind of negate a little bit of the magic damage that the Lena is going to try and output. But you take a look at the moment. The real thing I want to see from Vici is how PYW also plays this. You know, the fact that he's not really able to do too much top. You know, with Yang CSing under tower, you don't want to soak any of that experience. I know a lot of position 4s and 5s yeah, soaking some experience, but a lot of the time you make this up on any pulls you get. You know, when you're able to occupy the mid lane, maybe the dead lane as well, when the carry rotates to the jungle, or when the carry goes to the enemy's off lane, oh sorry, I should say to the enemy's safe lane. And you see Yang just doesn't even want to be in this matchup. Like, he's just going to pull the wave here. It allows the Mirana to make some movements here. Zetsu, arrow, will actually connect. Or he doesn't have the spears though, so the harass potential isn't too strong at the moment. So that inner fire damage is pretty high there. Setsu's got a self, does pop it though. The shield's going to be able to protect him. So got to be careful here. The stuns are the mark, and now with the shield popping actually, PYW finds the kill. Now they're going to continue chasing, however. It's got to shoot up in a couple of seconds here, so Super playing around with fire right now underneath the tower. Ori's going to end up turning here. 4 spear stacks, but it's not enough. Still only being level 1. So Setsu finds a double kill mid. Mirana should be able to snipe Setsu. Nicely done. The aggro onto the range creep, unfortunately. You saw Setsu try to deny himself to the tower. But a beautiful rotation coming through. They just attempt the dive without the burning spears. A lot of times I have seen that Husker go for kind of like a 1-0-2 build. It's more, the Unify is nice to secure your range creep CS because your base damage isn't the greatest. You see 62 at the moment with 3.2 gained. So what is he, level 4 now? Base is almost like 48, like high 40s, I'd say, maybe low 50s. So you're really going to struggle with being able to secure the range CS. So this is the nice thing about the Unify with that 100 damage. As we do see though, both the position 1s are getting a lot of farm out of the lane. Yang might be under a little bit of trouble. I mean, Monate's already level 5. Holy crap. He's actually doing incredibly well top and might be able to secure a kill here. Yang doesn't have enough TP, enough mana for a TP, apologies. So he's going to slowly get chased down here. Arrow off the mark. Looks like he will be fine. He's got the boots already picked up, so this will give him enough protection. Wow, this is not something you see often. Setsu does have to be careful though. DY gonna wait till the TP from the Mirana to set up for the arrow here. September doesn't have enough mana for the disruption, however, so trying to body block. He will eat the arrow, but still they have the Orb of Venom slow on top of Setsu. With Elite 4, they need to try and close the distance. PYW going in for the body blocks there, but unfortunately, he's still gonna be careful here. Setsu stacking up the spears. Husker does have 10 stick charges, so Ori's going to be fine with walking up here if they do want to continue. And now Setsu turns back around here. DY eats a whole lot of the right-click damage, and now with the shield popping thanks to the arrow connection, Super will find himself a kill here. So Radiant just getting a little bit too aggressive mid. This is the lane switch up that you see. The OD against the Husker mid is not very good. And now I've always seen in games ODs versus the Husker in that mid lane, and usually the Husker absolutely demolishes the mid lane, and then OD just can't come back. Like, you're not a hero that flash farms relatively well unless you have a whole lot of stacks and you're able to kind of play. I think the Dire side is a lot better because you can pull the camps and then get the Astral onto both the neutrals. But I do still think that if Monet has a relatively good time, the same principle applies. Like, the Husker is a incredibly tanky hero, and this just enables the Outward Devourer to be able to stack up the Ascendancy's charges. You know, previously, before the Astral, you very much relied on your Arcane Orb, but mid actually disruption set up here. Setsu's able to find the stun now with the Lugana Blade. Ori will end up falling here. There's no TP rotations coming through. PYW should try and deal with the creep wave and should be do a relatively good job there. So yeah, what I was talking about with the Husker is against OD, like I said, you know, OD, you love versing any tanky heroes. It's very similar to like a Slark. You just want to stack up as many charges as possible and then have this big ultimate, or in Slark's case, it's just a lot of damage and stats. So the good thing about the Husker is that you've got this built-in disarm, and then you also go for the Halberd too. So 2 disarms is something that really kites the OD and stops a lot of his damage output. So that is still the nice thing about the matchup though, as we do see Yang might be under some pressure here when they're going to drop the ultimate. He needs some rotations. It looks like DY is going to try and get in the area, but it might be a little bit too slow, and there's not a whole lot the Ogre is going to be able to do to help out. So Monet Drop the sanities now. They're gonna have some TPs. PYW along with Eurus showing up to the fray here. So Monate, he does have super to help out here. The arrows, very short duration here. And now with the slows, Monate still trying to cut throughout the trees. Shadow Demon's even going to try and help out as well. September with that disruption if need be should be able to give Monate a little bit of space here. He's got the actually Astral, so he can turn it, but he does have to be careful. They deal with the Abaddon a little bit too fast. If Abaddon maybe stayed alive for 1 or 2 more seconds, then OD could have used that Astral aggressively, but unfortunately that just wasn't the case there. So a 2,000 net worth lead for RNG. They have come out of this laning stage a lot better than what I was expecting. I mean, Flywind has farmed bot. You take a look, I mean, right behind the Drow Rangers net worth, only about like 150 difference. And now this is going to provide RNG a nice way to be able to take objectives early, as we do see actually set to a solo kill on top of the Huskar. Very nicely done there. I'm not sure. They didn't have the ward on the higher ground, so Huskar just playing with fire. I mean, this is a 2-3 right now. And Ori's supposed to have this really good matchup, and now Yang. I love this movement. You see the Omni Knight, because the Drow Ranger TP top, Yang has to now occupy bot. And RNG just going to be able to find a free kill. They know the TP is on cooldown. They're going to link up with the Dragon Knight, who already has this Elder Dragon form pop to try and take the tier 1 tower. And also with even the Abaddons being played as a position 5 here, you still go for that Curse of Avernus. Like, you still put a hefty amount of points in it. You don't see these mist coils maxed out anymore. So it does give them decent tower taking potential, but right now I mean the Huskar needs some catch up very badly. Usually I see the Huskar like maybe half an item and you start grouping up, like Sunj maybe, but I feel like Ori is just, he's literally just going to sit in the jungle until he does get a halberd. I mean, I can't imagine him joining before then, but that's the issue, because the Drow is not a strong hero early on. They're going to try and protect the outpost here with only just one hero. They should be successful. September can't really be able to, yeah, he can't take this fast enough, but it looks like it does put DY in a bit of a tricky spot here. Flywind's even going to find their stun on top of the Drow, but that's not the big issue. The issue is the Ogre Magi, who's going to end up falling when they will be able to claim the kill. Flywind's actually putting a lot of pressure on Eurus, so Ori's going to rotate over. Does not have a point up in the ultimate here, and Flywind looks like he's just going to be able to fly himself away. I guess right now Radiant also don't have any playmaking heroes. Like, I think they thought the Huskar was going to have a better game, and Huskar can just sit on the front line, be incredibly tanky, and they have all the utility coming through. I mean, I still think this is, it's going to be difficult for them now, considering the win condition from RNG, that Outward Devour. It's such a good laning star. I mean, they've got a 4,000 net worth lead right now, which is scary. I mean, OD's gone, is going to go Ag's first item, no Force Staff. Lena's got a Yule Scepter's almost completed. I did bring up that I hoped RNG would be able to make more movements around with the Lena. It looks like set to, until the Lena does get the Yule Scepter, you know, we'll probably see the Lena start making a lot more movements across the map. Until then, you kind of want to farm this first item. Wonder if she'll also go back for the Boots of Travel potentially. But even then, so PYW's got the urn. Wonder if he's going to complete the Spirit Vessel. It doesn't look like the greatest Spirit Vessel game. Actually, it is kind of nice on the Huskar. Like, it's really good against a DK who's incredibly farmed. Holy moly, Flywind's done really well in this hero. But it's like, it's no like Morphling, there's no like Huskar or anything that you're going into, I guess. So, interested in the urn. If he... But it looks like Vici pretty content with just still stalling out. You know, they want to try and make sure they defend their towers, because the DK is going to put a lot of pressure on. And now with the blink completed, they're going to make a movement here. And he's not with the Dragon Knight, so they're going to smoke down bot and potentially link up with Monate, who I think they should leave the OD to farm the Aghanims right now, and I'd rather the Dragon Knight actually them smoking to instead. They will find the Omni super. He doesn't have any detection right now, so he's going to be fine. Radiant, they have the outpost control as well, but you see kind of the issue being able to find the heroes. They're still going to bait the outpost arrow. Already been used now. Leap aggressively from PYW. The silence is onto 2, but now with the Astral, they're just beating all the damage into super here. So it looks like the Shadow Demon's going to end up falling. And now Radiant, they'll continue on their attention towards the Abaddon. When 8 drops the ultimate, does a fair bit of damage here, but Eurus is still on the higher ground, just beating into him. It's going to be forced to disengage, but unfortunately, Setsu with the follow-up lockdown thanks to the Eel Scepter doesn't allow the Drow to make it back in time. Vici Gaming, they'll lose 3 heroes at the 3 for 2 in that trade-off. A very nice fight from RNG actually coming out there. I mean, you see fine, the Dragonite showed up a little late, but the ulti from the OD did a whole lot of damage there. Kind of surprised they continued forcing the issue, it looked like, down bot. I mean, Monet's going to have a incredible Agnum's timing, it seems like, is that's kind of my issue with them forcing the fight then from Vici, because now they lose that fight, they lose map control mid, they're probably going to lose potentially Ori top as well with the rotation from the Outward Devourer. He does get the disarm out, so Manet's going to be careful here. PYW is even going to try and protect Ori. Without the Lugin Blade, they don't have that burst potential, so Ori actually turns it on the Husker. We'll still pay the price, however. PYW going to have a leap up, but it's not going to matter with the Demonic Purge. Tries to find the courier, almost does, but now Radiant Flywing. That's an aggressive blink here. If they can protect Eurus and he gets some marksmanship procs, still need level 1, unfortunately. Eurus, he's struggling right now. With only 1 point in that marksmanship, you see the damage is kind of lackluster, and Abaddon's got the ultimate, so they'll force it out. Setsu's the big target. They have to get on top of the Lina here. Setsu's just been able to output the damage constantly onto the backline. I mean, they're going on the DK, they're going on the Abaddon or the supports, and Yang's still going to continue the pressure here. Looks like with all the slows, it does make it difficult for RNG to fall back towards the towers here in that safe location as Super. He could be under trouble. Drow instead has kind of backed off to try and get the creep wave shoved in so they can put pressure on the tower. We do see that matchup though, the Husk going to the OD. Like, OD's Arcane does a whole lot of damage because the pure, but then if Husker gets the disarm out, it really just takes away the effect of the OD's kill potential. So he was about to have double disarm now with the Hellwood getting picked up. I imagine Ori's might be forced to go for a relatively early BKB, even though he does kind of have this defensive hero in the Omni Knight. It's going to be interesting to see how Ori wants to itemize this game. Flywin, he did blink aggressively here. Radiant, they're going to try and wrap around. They need to stack up the spears, and DY, it is 2 points up in the stun. He's even going to find a multicast with that as well. So Flywin, 9, 10. Should be enough speed to be able to bring him down. Unfortunately, Monet doesn't get the second Astral off fast enough, but They're going to wrap on the backline here with the Senators drops. It kills the Ogre. Now it looks like Husker needs to try and full retreat here. Turns his attention back to Super. Tries to give a little bit of space, unfortunately, to the Omni Knight, but it's just not enough. And now with the Halberd, OD's got a nice way to be able to kite out the Husker here. So now with that extra Astral just playing around beautifully. I mean, RNG, they are... I'm astonished that Radiant keep forcing the issue right now. Like, they're taking fights where they have no vision. Like, Dire have a T2 tower. They're just kind of hanging around the area. Like, Eurus was just farming continuously. Like, they're just not playing with the numbers. And it's a little scary right now with how this game is transitioning. I mean, a 7,000 lead, 16 into the game. The good thing is that Drow is, I mean, not even getting a whole lot of farm. Like, Eurus has a whole lot of last hits, you know, kind of neck and neck with the heroes on top, but you take a look at the kills. I mean, 9-1 on Setsu, 5-1 on the OD. They've got a lot of that bounty. And they're struggling right now. And this is the beautiful thing that Lena's doing, putting a lot of pressure on. She's got kill threat now with the Yules, allowing Monate to get the items, you know, giving him a lot more space to find the farm, and Setsu's the one. The important thing is that give Monate the lane farm, give Setsu the jungle, because Setsu's the one that has more kill threat, And if the Lina gets shown on top of a lane here, then instantly Radiant, they feel a lot more comfortable with being able to shove out the side lanes. Now this is big. Can they do it though? That's the question. This ward is scouting out a lot of movements, and I think this is a little bit obvious, especially with how PYW is positioning. So Super's probably going to try and give them a little bit of vision here, but with the medallion... Oh yeah, Super, they definitely know this is occurring, but Roche is going to end up falling too fast here, so I love the medallion picked up. And now with the Aegis over on Ori, this could be the little bit of advantage Vici Gaming are looking for. Super with the ultimate popped. Try and get as much mana back as possible here. Mane trying to stack up the Senators as well, but Ori back on the backline. They'll find the Ogre Magi, still Abaddon, somehow still alive with all the protection coming through. The Astral disruption constantly. There's absolutely no chance Super's going to be able to stay alive here. Now Flywind straight on top of the Drought. They need to protect him as much as possible. Eurus will actually not get bursted down. Instead, Setsu's going to pop the Laguna Blade out over on PYW, but the turn. But the Gasp has the ultimate up in a couple of seconds here. They're going to be careful, and Vici Gaming now full retreat's going to come through from them. Monet, if he wants to drop the ultimate, looks like with Astral now he's got 14 charges, or he's going to try and give him a little protection here, but Monet, he's still been able to stack up, and now Drow's going to drop. They'll lose the Aegis as well. PYW forces a buyback here, but now Ori's going to be careful. They've got the disruption. They can follow up with the Lina stun. A quick ultimate from the Husker will be able to dodge it now, and instead they'll turn their attention to Monet up to the northern side here. Has the force off. Now with an aggressive leap, we'll be able to give him a little bit of space here. Still a Husker, incredibly tanky, chucking out the constant disarm, but look at the kite ability coming through from RNG right now with the double Astral disruption constantly. They're just nothing that Radiant can actually do. They'll lose the Husker for a second time. And now PYW is also going to be the target on his back. I mean, RNG are just looking absolutely flawless right now. I mean, this performance from them, they switched up the lanes to give the OD this miraculous start. I don't even want to... miraculous is probably not the good way to put it. They just gave him a incredible start. And the issue that Vici Gaming are playing into is that drawn-out fights favor RNG. Drawn-out fights favor the Outward Devourer. You have double Astral, a disruption.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So they have so many ways to kite these heroes. You saw the goddamn Abaddon just didn't die. You saw how long they were trying to kill this man. Like, the lockdown from Vici is really lacking at the moment. The initiation is just not there. And I honestly think the way that RNG set up the lanes has put them in a commanding position to be able to end this game. Like, they are... The Husker is just getting further and further behind. I mean, he's going to go Satanic. I actually think he needs a BKB. I understand the Satanic. A lot of Huskers don't want the BKB. I think the only way they win this game, though, is with that item. Because he's still just going to have no impact throughout the fights. I understand because they have the Omni Knight, but we'll see. We'll see if he can even get close to the Satanic, because I feel like right now at Dire, you know, they'd feel pretty content with going late game. Like, I'd say they've got a better tri-core in the DK Lina OD, whereas Radiant have the Husker, Drow, and the Omni Knight. As we're gonna see, well, there's the Omni Knight just getting absolutely shredded mid lane. You know, this Omni's damage presence as the game goes on falls off, and very similar to the Husker as well. This is just a difficult game to watch, as this just shows how much emphasis teams need to put on the lanes. Like, all Vici they draft this lane counter, and then RNG swap up the lanes, they put the OD in the safe, and they just have a free game. And now they're walking high ground 21 minutes in, and there's a Husker who's just shoving out side lanes and trying to do whatever he can. But Vici Gaming just, they don't have the items. 13,000 gold behind. Like, how do you go on someone? Maybe a 5 blast into an arrow, but you've got Astral, you have shield, you have disruption. Your only initiation potential to start the fight is completely gnawed out. It's just wasted. Now they're going to try for the Moonlight Shadow here. DK's incredibly tanky. Ogre's still going to end up dropping. They're going to be careful because they're feeding the stacks over to Monet. I mean, 8 stacks already. Level 2 on the ultimate is about to find the level 3. About 17. and 3/4 here, but number the stun. Omni just going on straight away here, has the Heavenly Grace, will be fine, but instead maybe Ori's going to be the next target here. So playing on the front line, they'll chuck up the Laguna Blade. Ori's going to be able to stay alive here. They'll force the buyback as well from the Ogre Magi, but now they're going to retreat. RNG, they can turn around if they want to. If Vici Gaming pressure a little bit too far here, and yeah, you see straight away, 1-8 gonna try and stack up here. Flywind, nice use of the Gust here. They're able to get the ultimate out as well, so maybe Flywind a little bit too deep, but the constant natural save just giving him so much protection. There's the hammer. 1-8 cleans up 2 heroes. The G's are dropped. This is a... wow, this is a steamroll. An absolute steamroll. 1-8 is... yeah. RNG played this game absolutely... phenomenal. I think I favor the draw from Vici. I thought they didn't have a way to be able to get on top of the drow, which it's only kind of the DK, but the fact is that all RNG had to do was swap the lanes. You put the Huskar versus the Lina, which is actually a decent matchup. We saw Lina have a really good time, some nice rotations from Super, and OD just free farm. And that's the thing, when you take a look at RNG, you've got Shield, Miss Coil as well. Then 1-8 has double Astral, and September has a disruption. They have, if someone gets arrowed, you have 4 ways, 4 chances to be able to protect them. Shield, double Astral, disruption. So how did Vici actually start the fight? And because RNG have really good ways to draw out these engagements, it just enables the Outward Devourer to be able to find the Sanity's charges, and we saw a lot of time that ultimate did a whole lot of damage. And unfortunately, Vici is just the laning stage. That's the big issue. You put right now, when games are able to end, 28 minutes, it feels like the average. If you don't win the laning stage and you have a hero who doesn't flash farm, you're gonna fall behind. And they really struggled. I think that was, I really would have rathered to see Vici move the Huskar against the OD. The only issue that puts them in then is then, what, does Drow go mid? Does Omni go mid? Like, they then have an issue with those lanes. So, yeah, RNG just a incredible game 1 performance. A very clean lane setup that's going to allow them to have a Outward Devourer, their win condition that goes beyond gold, like 12-1, set to 11-1 as well. The cause had a incredible performance, and we're going to see what Vici Gaming can do in the second game. However, this is a best of 3. They're going to try and hit back hard, and we'll take a quick break. Until then, probably about 10 minutes, lads. Shouldn't be too long.